What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thank you so much for being here. If you are a subscriber, I really do appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button. If you're listening to this on YouTube, while you're at it, hit that like button. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place. Let's get into this conversation. Well, it looks like the prince and the duchess are definitely not getting what they were hoping for, especially with this alleged catastrophic almost car collision that nearly happened but didn't happen in New York. And that is the protection of the British police. So I did a previous conversation after I talked about my feelings on the matter and the fact that I really didn't think that the way they had their spokesperson or publicist, whatever the person's title is, describe the situation helped them, and how it just gave people a lot of doubts about did it really go down the way that it was being described. And then I came out and said some information that was shared with me actually by one of the people who is watching and listening to the content. I really do appreciate it, that shared that information with me about what they were vying for, which was the protection from the UK. Well, it looks like that request has been denied. So it's being reported by the UK Daily Mail that the government refuses Prince Harry's request for the British police protection. So the story is that he lost the protection of the best security force in the world. Harry lost a second challenge to allow him to pay the British Metropolitan Police for elite personal security. The UK government denied his latest legal challenge in a ruling by the High Court on Tuesday. Prince Harry requested to pay for elite Metropolitan Police protection when he is in Britain, but the Home Office said Harry lost that privilege when he and Meghan abandoned their royal duties and defected to the West. And this is what is in the article. I'm not saying this, but the article says the entitled prince was stripped of his guaranteed police security when he and his American wife moved to the U.S. in 2020. The ruling comes days after Harry and Meghan's much publicized run-in with American paparazzi after attending an award show in New York City. A spokesperson for the couple claimed they were chased by the paparazzi, who nearly caused a catastrophic crash. But the NYPD and the New York-based photo agency Backgrid USA denied the allegations. Backgrid USA also denied Harry and Meghan's demands for all photos and videos from that night. Harry and Meghan have had the comforts of Specialist Protection Command, Royal and Specialist Protection Command, known as RASP, security officers in New Zealand in 2018 before they defected to the U.S. RASP officers are considered among the best security officers in the world, more elite than even America's Secret Service. Harry believed that he should be allowed to pay for police protection in the same way UK soccer clubs pay for officers to provide security at matches. Metropolitan Police chiefs told the High Court their officers are, quote, not guns for hire for the rich and famous, according to Daily Mail. They said allowing Harry to pay for the protection of armed officers would set an unacceptable precedent. The Home Office decided that the public interest does not warrant private citizens receiving elite police protection on a publicly funded basis. Robert Palmer Casey, barrister for the Home Security, told the court that elite officers are expected to throw themselves in harm's way to protect the royals, and says it's different from ordinary policing and can only be provided when the public interest requires it, he said. He also added, it is inconsistent with those principles for a private individual to be able to pay for that security. So basically what they're saying, even though he wants to pay for it, They're saying, look, to us, you're just a private citizen at this point, and it's what you wanted. You got what you asked for, but you can't have your cake and eat it too, is basically what it sounds like they're saying. So we don't know if they're going to challenge this again. I would suspect that they probably would, or in some other capacity, trying to get what they want when it comes to the protection that they claim that they need. So I want to read some comments about what people are really feeling right now when it comes to this couple, because I feel that something may have definitely happened. I'm not saying that it was an all out and out complete fabrication or lie, but I do feel that it was an extreme exaggeration. And this extreme exaggeration may have been a bridge too far when it comes to the couple, because they left the UK to come to the United States. They wanted to be no longer working royals. So that makes them a regular citizen at this point, even though they are well known. And I guess you could call them public figures. I wouldn't even say that they're celebrities, but this is how some of the people are feeling right now. So I'm just going to read some comments. So someone says, when they describe the paparazzi following them, they should have never said two things. We were in the road for 2 hours and it was catastrophic. It just sounds like an exaggeration. That's why they are getting all this bad press right now. I like them and I don't even believe them. As for the police protection, Harry needs to accept that when he left, there were consequences. This is one of the consequences. You have to find your own security. And then someone commented to that comment to say exaggerating, comma, embellishing, comma, lying. So someone else says, Harry and Meghan, please go away with y'all privileged asses. Please be gone. Another comment that's pretty long, but I'm just going to read it real quick. So the 2-hour chase that almost caused fatalities, that they later tried to walk back after being called liars and say they were emotional when it happened, was exaggerated to try and show the UK courts that they are the most popular couple ever, and he really, really needs his special privilege back to have police protection. UK said, kick rocks, you're grown and gone. Pay for bodyguards like every other celebrity. It hurts when those rich privileges get taken away. When you quit your job, you can't keep using the office perks. He learned it the hard way. He's still trying to use his key card to a job he doesn't work at anymore. They have the cash, just pay for the bodyguards just like everyone else, including non-working royals. When the old raggedy queen was alive, and listen, this is this person's comment, not mine. Her youngest one, Edward, paid for his own security since he was non-working. That pedo perv Andrew got to pay for his own security, and all the grandkids that weren't direct heirs have to pay for their own security as well. Write the check and pay for your own personal bodyguards and let them Keystone cops go about their day. Those folks over there said, you quit and we have filled the position with someone else. Here's the phone book, call rent a bodyguard. Oh my gosh, that person had a lot of thought and effort behind that comment. And it was kind of funny, but basically, it's true. I can't disagree with it. You quit your job as a working royal. Yeah, you're still family. By the way, you trashed the family for some money. So you can't bite the hand that fed you and want to have your cake and eat it too. That's just not real life. It happens for some people. You know, we're not going to say that it doesn't. But do you deserve it? And yeah, you can feel entitled to it, but does that mean you're going to get it? A lot of people just aren't feeling sorry for them. Yeah, you got Gayle King, who's always out here windmilling for Meghan and Harry for whatever reason. I get it. You want to be a good friend, like you've been a great friend to Oprah, and that's gotten you into the place that you are right now. But I don't think you being out here windmilling for Meghan and Harry the way you are doing right now is going to benefit you in any way. I'm not saying it's going to hurt or harm you, but just leave it alone. Just say you believe them, and that's it. And just, or say no comment. But just her always out here windmilling for Meghan and Harry, it just seems a bit weird to me. Yes, it's great to have great friends, but come on now. Someone else commented and said, I'm sorry. Her need to come back to the States as if her new title was going to revise her less than lukewarm career as an actress has put her husband in danger. This reminds me of when Superman, the Christopher Reeves version, LOL, gave up all his superpowers and the villains from Krypton came and kicked his tail. Shaking my head, I hope she is happy now because this is their life from now on. Another person commented and said, I've always said that they did not think things through. They could have remained working royals and spent most of their charity time in Africa. When in London, they could have gotten involved in programs of the arts because that's Meghan's background. The Queen gifted them with a house for privacy and free decorating. That wasn't good enough either. Privacy, they could have had plenty. You just don't leave your post after you make a commitment because some strangers and dumb people in the family talk about you. Adults that love themselves don't allow others to run them off their post. They can't get royal taxpayer-funded security because they are not working royals at any capacity. How many times do they need to be told this? And now they can't even go back because they burned so many bridges over there. Me, I'm grown. I'm not letting anyone run me from my money and position. I'll make adjustments, but I'm not leaving my position. And that's one way of viewing it. But honestly, I don't believe that Meghan ever really wanted to stay over there. I believe that, in my opinion, her goal the entire time was to eventually get back here and live the life that she never had the opportunity to live, being very extremely well known as she is now and living in Hollywood and living the lifestyle that she is living now, because that wasn't her life prior to being a part of the royal family. So I don't believe she ever wanted to be attached to that forever. I believe she wanted to be the star. And now she, in some ways, is seen that way, even though, in my personal opinion, I don't believe that she is. I don't believe, even though she was on a television show before and she's had some other things that she's done in Hollywood, like being a Deal or No Deal briefcase girl. I mean, how many of those people do you know? I'm just saying. And those people, we don't call them celebrities. So yeah, she didn't leave behind a multi-million-dollar mansion and this lavish lifestyle to become the Duchess of Sussex. That was the ultimate come up for her. So I don't believe that she ever wanted to stay as a working royal. I believe that that was used as an out, talking about people are being racist or talking about your children and what skin color is the child going to have when it's born and all of that other type of stuff, which is like, who cares? But yeah, it benefited her to do things the way that she did them because this was the life that she ultimately wanted. So she's getting what she wanted. And hey, you know, more power to her. You like it, I love it. But just don't utilize the victim card all the time to try to gain favor and sympathies of people, because it wears extremely thin. Even for people who are real victims and who go through stuff, my God. And it sucks because that's the world that we live in, but we don't live in a heartful world. We live in a heartless world for the most part. There are people that are genuine and kind all around, but when it comes to overall, everybody's living their own life and doing their own thing. So yeah, people hear about what you're going through, and for a moment they'll say, oh, I'm sorry that you're going through that. Or if you lost someone, I'm sorry for your loss, or whatever. People get gunned down in schools and whatever, and people are saying our thoughts and prayers are with them for that moment, and in the next minute it's on to the next thing. So people, even when they're real victims, people don't sit in that space of grieving with people who are real victims for a very long time either. So that's one of the things that annoys me when it comes to the Meghan and Harry saga. It's this ultimate victimhood. It's like, you guys really have no idea what it is to really be a victim. period. So that wears thin. And I just feel that the representation of the way they wanted to make this out to be a almost catastrophic collision, and I, came the closest I ever came to knowing what it was like when my mom lost her life in the collision she was in years ago, is not a cool thing to do, because this situation is nothing in comparison to that. Absolutely not. So anyway, guys, I wanted to talk about that. They didn't get what they were asking for. Do you think they're going to continue to pursue this? Are they going to file an appeal? Are they going to go to a higher authority or try to get what they ultimately are looking for, which is the opportunity to have the best security protection out there, whether ultimately someone else is paying for it or they're having the opportunity to pay for it? And what do you feel about the people's comments, some of those comments that I read? Do you agree with them? But anyway, I just wanted to talk about that. You let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I appreciate you being here, liking, and subscribing. This is Beth. I'm just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and I'm going to say bye.